Hi guys, my name is Laura Millard and I am the designer behind Just Yarnin Designs. I knit. I am hoping to design some knitting patterns soon. I dye yarn, etc. I do a lot of little crafty things. But I come to you from California where I live with my husband, my 3 kiddos, and my 2 pups. Um, it's been a really long time since I've gotten to podcast. The summer is just kind of taken over our life, which is all good stuff. Vacations and just the busyness of the go, go, go. I have kiddos who do American Ninja Warrior, and we just got back from a trip to New Mexico where they participated in the United Ninja Athletes Association final competitions. And so that was a lot of fun getting to see the other competition out there and just how serious this sport is, because I really didn't know. I had no idea. So yeah, it was just a lot of fun. Got a lot of knitting time because my butt was so sore from sitting on those bleachers. So it was a really fun trip. But anyways, so I am kind of winging it today. It has been 2 months since my last podcast, and again, the summer has just overtaken our lives. So I'm in a different room of the house today because I'm just finding it really hard to find some quiet time, find a time when I don't have a sidekick near me, and aka one of my kids. And my kids are a little bit older. They're 9, 14, and 16, but we hang out together. We're a close family, and so it's just hard to find a little bit of time to myself, but I wouldn't trade it for the world. Love the kids, love spending time with them. So I am in my room today trying to get a little peace and quiet. The girls are in a wedding this weekend, and so they're off doing wedding stuff, and we're really excited about the wedding this weekend that we have going on. But I just wanted to give you guys an update on where I'm at, what I'm doing. I'm just going to kind of jump in and show you guys some finished objects and works in progress, kind of where I'm at now. I think that it felt very overwhelming to have to go back and figure out what I have showed you guys, what I haven't showed you, and so I'm just going to jump in with what I have going on right now on my needles, some things that I've just finished, some things that I'm thinking about, just some things that I've learned over the time as well. So let's jump in. Let's do finished objects because that's kind of fun. So what I'm going to show you is some socks. So these are, I've showed you guys this yarn before. This was the blue brick, and they do gradient yarn. So what was supposed to happen with this colorway is the socks were supposed to line up exactly and go from like this pink color to this rose gold kind of brownish color. And the yarn there was something off with the yarn. There was actually when I bought it, it was 2 40-gram skeins that were guaranteed to be exact gradients. And there was a 6-gram difference between the skeins. And I didn't realize that at first until I was halfway into my project that they weren't matching up. And so I actually had to take 6 grams out of the middle of one and then continue on just to make it work and end up in the same spot. But it is gradient, but it's not as it isn't what I was expecting. Happy with the colorway and all, and there was some other discrepancies in the yarn, but the ladies at Blue Brick were so nice. They are actually sending me another set of the sock twins is what they're called, to be able to redo my socks. But I just felt like, okay, I'm going to go ahead and finish these, and I may actually do the same pattern and then go from the opposite side so that you don't actually see that they're mismatched gradient. I'm not quite sure yet. I'm not sure I may frog these socks. Who knows? But I can definitely tell the discrepancies in them, and it bothers me a little bit, but it's okay. But anyways, these are the Huggle socks. This is from the Cozy Sock collection, and these are the June socks from Mina Phillips from the Knitting Expat. Again, really enjoying her sock club. I don't even think it's too late to join. I think if you guys wanted to join, you definitely could. So, but what I really liked about these is it was a very simple pattern, but it had a really cool effect. And there was a right and a left sock, which I had never done before. And it wasn't hard or anything to figure out and to follow the pattern. Mina's patterns are always so well written that they are very easy to follow. So yeah, here are my finished socks. And the thing that I did differently on these socks, which I've never done before, and I knit socks a lot, but the thing that I had never done before was I did a new heel. So my go-to heel is the German short row heel. But what I did with these was the New Depths heel by Becky Sorensen. So you can tell that it kind of comes out a little bit more here on the sides. And that's because I actually added 3 stitches on each side of the heel just to give it more depth in the heel. And I don't like the heel flap idea because I don't like to have to pick up the gusset and the stitches. I did that for my very first sock and I really dreaded doing the heel and I didn't want to do it again. So when I came across the German short row heel, it was perfect for me because there were no picking up extra stitches or you didn't have to work on this flap and then I don't even remember all the pieces of it. It's just not my cup of tea. But, you know, I really liked this heel. You can see like it's pretty seamless. I had questions when I was joining back and then decreasing my stitches because I felt like it was going to leave a hole. But it's extremely minute, more minute than what I thought was going to be there. So this side here, but I mean, you really can't, it's pretty seamless. I liked it. I think I would do it again, especially for like my husband's socks he has got a little bit, you know, deeper of a heel than I do. So I would use it again. It was like $1.50 or something. I don't know. It was so cheap for the pattern. It's just a heel pattern, but she has really good tutorials on YouTube for that pattern as well. So I highly recommend the New Depths heel if you just are looking for something different. It might not be your favorite go-to heel, but it might be. You just never know till you try. So that was fun. New Depths heel by Becky Sorensen. So that's a finished object for me. And then the only other real finished object would be squares on my blanket. I am at 115 squares. Cannot remember how many I had the last time that I showed you guys. But so Mina Phillips, again from the Knitting Expat, because I follow her religiously, just love her knitting. I love how she knits. There's just a lot of stuff that I really enjoy about her and watching her. She did a D-stash, and so I got one of her fingering weight D-stash lots, and it was just fun to get to see some new yarns, ones that were just kind of all mishmashed together, and you know, definitely enough for 1 or 2 squares on my blanket. So there's that. I've gotten, you know, this one here I just did this one. This was from her stash here. I think this one was from her stash. Maybe this one. No, this one here was actually from my local yarn shop. Yeah, I think maybe this one was from her stash. But you know, it's just fun to add new squares and remember where you got them. And so plugging away on my blanket. Here we go. Can we see the whole bit of it here? You know, this space for me is a little bit cumbersome because I'm not used to this space, and so I don't feel like I can stretch out. I don't have as much space in front of me, so sorry if I feel awkward today. but I'm loving this blanket. You know, I go through spurts. I did not work on it for a really long time. Well, I take that back. So I worked on it when I got all the new yarn from Mina that I bought, and then I did a whole bunch of squares on it, and then it sat for a good month, and then I picked it up just recently and have been adding some more squares onto it. So it's one of those projects where there's no guilt if it just sits for a month. It's totally okay, and you know, once you do the square, you're done with that square and you're done and you can move on, and it doesn't feel like a work in progress completely. It just feels like something that I get to casually work on and enjoy working on. And well, I can't wait till it's done and I can use it. I don't want that time to come any faster because I do enjoy the process of it so much. So that's my blanket. Move that aside. Yeah, so looking around, like that's the only other finished object that I have to show you guys right now. I have been knitting a lot, but I just have some stuff on the needles. I think last time I showed you guys the sparkle cardigan, and I really haven't made much more progress on that. I've started the sleeves, but I kind of got sidetracked. I'll show you what I got sidetracked on. I got sidetracked on the La Bien-Aimée yarn that I wanted to use. So this is the graffiti, driftwood graffiti is what it's called, but La Bien-Aimée, let's see, the driftwood graffiti colorway in a merino single, which I am loving the merino single. This is my first project that I have done on a merino single. I love it. I will definitely be doing it again. You know, I told my husband, I said, like, I have a problem, babe. Like, I found a new favorite yarn. And he goes, oh, I don't think that's a problem. That's a great thing. I said, if you knew how much it cost, then you might think I have a problem. And he goes, yeah, good point. You got a problem there. So, but, you know, he's really supportive of my yarn purchases within reason. And we just banter back and forth about it. It's fun. But so I'm on the sleeves right now. So I'm going to show this to you. So this is the color, the driftwood graffiti color. Love the yellows in there, the grays, the browns, gorgeous. I'm doing the Painting Sweater by Katrine Schneider. So here's that there. It's very simple, which I love. I'm actually learning how to not look while I'm knitting, and I was able to actually take this to the movie theaters with me and work on it because there is just so much stockinette in there. But I'm using the ChowGoo size 3 needles for the body and the arms, and then a size 2 for the cuffs. I think it calls for a 2.5 for the body, but I knit tight, so I tend to go up a size anyways in my needles. So I'm just using a size 3, and I'm on gauge. But there's so much to love about this sweater. I love the size of the needles. I love how the yarn works with the needles. I love the feel of the yarn. I love the pattern and just how simple it is, but the effect that you get. So while I'm going to show this to you, it's hard to see because I'm doing the sleeves 2 at a time, like I do my socks 2 at a time. I like doing it this way because then when you are doing decreases and it says work an inch before your first decrease, that you know you're doing the decreases at the same time. You don't have to take notes and write things down. So that's what I enjoy doing about the 2 at a time sleeves. And then you know once you finish the first sleeve and you're so excited to be done with the sleeve, and then you have the whole second sleeve to go. So anyway, so I love this. It's a twisted rib around the hem and the collar. The cuffs on the sleeves will be that way as well, but let's see if I can kind of, this is my progress on it. This is actually the back. This is the front with the sleeves and all. So I didn't say this is my first project where I felt the need to alternate skeins, but I just did it kind of when I got near the end of one, and then I alternated for a bit until I ran out, and then I continued on. I tried alternating every round, and it just felt a bit too cumbersome. The stitches weren't, they were kind of sinking in and just not sitting right on the outside of the fabric. And so then I started doing every other round or every 2 rounds I would alternate, and that worked out a lot better. And I think I got the Very Pink Knits tutorial on that and how to switch out your colors, but here's, like, you just kind of twist it up the side, and you always pull over the same yarn, like put one down, pull one over. Anyways, but the collar is a lot, or the hem is a lot lighter than the rest of it, and I'm okay with it. You know, I think once you wear it and everything, it won't really be that noticeable, but you can tell that, you know, the hem was definitely a much lighter color in the yarn, which is fine. I hand dye yarn, I understand. But I did choose to put that one down for the sleeves. So I, just a trick, um, what I did is after I split for the sleeves, I saved a little bit of the yarn, so I didn't completely run out of the yarn that I was working on the yoke and the sleeves. So I saved a portion of them to start with, so that if my colors were a little bit different, when I picked up the sleeves and started to work on the sleeves, it wouldn't be this harsh line. And so then what you can do is then you can start doing the alternating. So like literally I have these two little balls of yarn that I kept just to be able to alternate a couple rows so it wasn't so harsh of a line. So hopefully that will work out in my mind like I hope it does. But yeah, I love the softness of the sweater. I cannot wait to wear it this fall. It's a lightweight sweater. I kind of think it might be my new go-to sweater. I am loving it. Love, love, love. So, ooh, get back here. I should show you. So I made this bag. I got this bag from the Black Squirrel Berkeley, or I got the fabric from the Black Squirrel Berkeley. But then I also capitalized on Twill and Print's second sale when all their pins were $6. And so I got this guy here, my little sleeve island, and I put that on when I started the sleeves because I thought it was so appropriate. So there we go. And then I also got this little guy here. It's for Verve Coffee. I love coffee. It was such a cute pin. I saw it at the coffee shop and just said, you selling those? I need that one. So just some acquisitions there. But all right, so next, work in progress. Pair of socks, because I always have socks in the needles. So these socks here are for my husband. These are the Cottywomple socks, part of Mina Phillips' Cozy Sock collection. And these are, no, the Cottywomple are actually the Wanderlust sock collection, and these are for July. So I just started them because she gives you 2 months to finish each pair of socks. So, but these are for my husband. This is in Madeline Tosh colorway. Let's see, where is it at? All right, here we go. Court and Spark Twist Light. It's 75/25 merino wool nylon, so not a super wash. I'm gonna have to kind of watch that, I guess. And then it's a fingering weight, 420 yards per 100 grams. It's super plush. It's really nice feeling. So I actually went up a needle size. So again, Chow Goose, but these are 1.5. So I went up a little bit just to offset how plump the yarn is, because I felt like it would be really tight and maybe not as enjoyable to knit if I had done the size ones. So, but super fun, like really easy pattern. It's a charted pattern that she has the instructions, but then she also has the chart, which is really nice because I can actually read her chart, which I'm really not good at. But so Court and Spark colorway by Madeline Tosh, super like nice. I just want to kind of cuddle with this yarn because it feels so good. But yeah, so my husband picked this one out. He needs another pair of socks. I've only knit him one, so he's kind of the last one to get knitted socks from me for whatever reason. I don't know, maybe I just like the girly colors and he's not that much into that. So super easy knit though. I just started these the other day. Here, let's see. Here's the caked up yarn. But it's a very subtle browns and grays, and he said he needed some more gray socks, so that's what he picked out. All right, so the next is the so these I have not actually cast on yet. These are going to be cast on. the cocoon socks, and this is the August cozy sock collection by Mina Phillips. So there's that, and if you see if I can find a better picture. I don't want to give away the pattern, but that's maybe a little bit better of a picture. I haven't read the pattern yet, but the effect looks really neat. Like I guess little cocoons. So when I was at the Black Squirrel, they have community yarn bins, and I think I shared this with you guys last time. But people will just donate yarn, and when somebody else has a need for it, then they'll pick it up. So I went there looking for scraps for my blanket, which I often ask now, and I got an entire skein of this yarn. It's a Madeline Tosh, one of a kind. So here's that there, but it just says one of a kind. So, and it's the same. It's the Twist Light 75/25 merino wool nylon and a fingering weight 420 yards. So I'm thinking that this is going to be the same juicy plumpness as those other socks. So these are all ready to go. And actually I was going to do these in the July socks, but then when I saw that it was a pretty neutral pattern, one that my husband would like, I switched, and so I'm going to do these for the August socks, for the cocoon socks, for the August cozy sock collection, and then switched to do the other ones for my husband. Okay, so those are my works in progress. I have yarn here, which this should not be off the needles. I'm not quite sure why. Oh, because I haven't added in the second color yet. That's why. I kind of got worried there for a second, thinking, why are these not connected to anything? Sorry. Okay, so acquisitions. The only yarn acquisition that I was going to show you guys is this little bit of mohair that I got. And so my girlfriend and I, we went to a few different yarn shops one day. We've actually had 2 trips. So I got this on that day because I have in mind to do the Svelge sweater. I have no idea if I'm saying that correctly, so sorry about that if I am massacring that name. But it's in the Lane magazine in issue 5. And there is just this, what was shown in the pictures, it's a gray sweater. I'll put a picture up on the podcast, but it's a gray sweater, and then it just has a little bit of like a mohair lace piece right here, like in the V-neck. And I was reading the pattern, and it's amazing how it all works together. You actually work that in as you go. But it's just a little bit of mohair right there. I know mohair is like all the rage right now, and so I just picked me up some. It's a Rowan Kid Silk Haze. Let's see if it has a colorway. Cream white. I don't know. But I'm not quite sure what color I'm going to do the sweater in. I think I'm going to just do the gray like they had it, because I don't have a gray sweater, and then the little bit of mohair I just think will set it apart and make it different. But I've never worked with mohair. I'm kind of excited about that. Yeah, so that's an acquisition. The other acquisition that I got, you saw my sleeve pin and my little coffee pin. And then, again, I said I capitalized on the Twill and Print sale, so I got some other pins. But love these pins. I've been looking at them for a long time. And gosh, when they were $6 a piece for her second sale, I just could not resist. So I got those. They don't have a home quite yet. Not sure why. I don't know what bag I'm going to put them on. And I kind of want to get some of the little secure backers for them. I know you can pick them up on Amazon, but I did have a pin that actually fell off my bag, and I was out shopping and it fell off my bag. So yeah, that was a little concerning. So I'm a little bit leery to put them on because I don't want to lose them until I get the secure backers. So couple other things. So this is kind of non-knitting related. So I love to make bags. I would really like to put some more bags up in the shop. like my squirrel bag and like my porcupine bag here. But I'm really liking the drawstring because then my yarn doesn't get stuck in the drawstring. So I went to the Cotton Patch, which is a local fabric store in Lafayette, California, and I picked up some fabric. So this will be a bag. This will be the inside, the outside. This is the strap that I got for it. So super cute. Love this fabric. Love the teepees. Like, who doesn't love teepees? It's just so cute. Okay, and then I also got, I think I'm going to do a bigger bag out of this one here with a gray strap. But I just love it. It's so cute. They had, I probably should have picked it up because it was so darn cute. They had, it was in the same, I think the same designer, and they had, they were clotheslines with socks hanging down from them, and I really should have gotten it for a sock bag because that's just what I knit mostly is socks and sweaters. And then my daughter really wants me to make her a bag, so I'm going to, this was fabric that she picked out. She's she's just a sweet soul, so these colors and design work with her. But so I'm going to make her a bag. So that was some acquisitions that I got. My final acquisition is my girlfriend and I, our second trip out, we went to a Verb for Keeping Warm in Oakland, California, which I don't live too far away from. And I loved their yarn. I really wanted to get an indigo yarn. But one of my rules is that if I don't know what I'm going to make, unless it's sock yarn, I won't buy the yarn. Because I don't want to have this endless stash of yarn that I'm not going to use. I would rather spend my money on something that I have something in mind for. Even if that changes, at least I have something in mind and I have a purpose for the yarn that I'm buying. Because really, I could buy all the yarn. I could see the addiction in that. Like, that would be so fun. But so I purchased a pattern. I've never done a garment for myself. I do sew quite a bit, but I used to sew garments for the kids. Like I would make a dress out of a man's shirt, kind of some of those little Pinteresty things. But I've never done something for myself, a garment for myself. So I found this dress. They had samples there. I was able to try it on from a Verb for Keeping Warm. And, unfortunately, I wasn't able to get the fabric there at their store. They had such beautiful fabric. But for my first garment, I just thought that I would get something inexpensive at Joann's and try it out. And then maybe for a treat would go back and get some more fabric and make myself another one. But it's a little tunic dress. It's so cute. You can see, I know this doesn't do it justice whatsoever, but they're like the little gathering here. And then the gathering in the back here, the length, it just was so cute. And they had samples there that I could try on, and I fell in love. And so a little bit out of my comfort zone, but it's fun. So I've cut the fabric pieces out, and my serger is not cooperating with me right now, so I'm trying to figure that out. But okay, so that is kind of me for the last 2 months. I know I've left out a little bit. But, something that I would like to start sharing with you guys, and we'll see where it goes, no promises, but it's like that I want to share things that I've learned with you. So kind of like an Einstein moment, right, where I've figured something out, or it was like this aha moment that was so clear to see, but I needed somebody else to show me, or needed to see it differently, or whatever it is. It could be knitting related, it could be life related. I don't know, we'll just see what happens here. But the thing that I wanted to share with you guys today was about my possible upcoming adventures. So I'm really trying to think about where I want Just Yarn and Designs to go. And I don't know, do I want to jump into this indie dye world, which is so fascinating to me and just sparks this huge interest, this huge desire and creativity in me, and I want to jump into that. but I'm kind of scared. I don't know, like, can I make it? Will I be able to contribute to my family financially if I do this, or will I be sucking time and energy and money away from my family? But I love it so much that I feel like I need to start pursuing and start really looking into this. So, what I'm doing right now, and I think by the time I finish this book, it will be kind of telling which direction I should go in. So, Business Boutique by Christy Wright. I'm a huge Dave Ramsey fan. I love his concepts and his ideas. But I picked this up at my library, and it might be one that I purchase and put on my shelf because I think that there's just a lot of good tidbits in here. But some of the things that she's going through, so it's a woman's guide for making money doing what she loves. And this hits home for me completely because I feel like so often I have this great idea. I have that entrepreneur mindset, but then the planning and the follow through is difficult for me. And part of why it's difficult is because I'm scared. I have these fears of failure, and I have these fears of, am I good enough? Or is there room for me out there? Things like that. And the fears that she listed in her book that are so common are the exact fears that I have, which made me see, like, okay, this is very common, and I just have to get over it. And that's one of the things that she said in her book was, sometimes you just have to do things scared. Everybody is scared when they first do something, and you just, whatever it is, you have to do it once and do it scared, and that's okay. And so that's kind of my Einstein moment right now, is that it's okay to be scared as long as it doesn't hold you back. And so I'm trying to equip myself with the tools and the knowledge that I need to make a good educated decision, whether or not, I want just Yarnin Designs to be more than just this little hobby of mine. And it's exciting to think about, and I love the knitting community, the yarn community out there. So I'm excited to see where it goes, and I don't know, I have this tremendous support from my husband as well, which is really great, and I'm excited about it. So we'll see where it goes. But I would love to hear any tips or tricks that you guys have, just for overcoming my fears, ways that maybe you guys, things that have helped you to make decisions like this, and just kind of your take on it. So that's my Einstein moment, is that sometimes you have to do things scared. And being scared or not knowing or not having the knowledge is not a reason to stop and to shy away from something, but it's even more the reason to keep going and figure things out and gain the knowledge. We are meant to learn and do new things, and it's kind of an exciting but scary time. So I'm sharing that with you. I know it's kind of personal. I think it's personal to share about your fears and to say out loud what they are. But hopefully I'll encourage you guys to do something scared this week, and to overcome one of your fears. And hopefully I can overcome mine as well. So leaving you guys with that. We'll see where things go. I'm hoping to get back on a more steady schedule, which was my desire all along, which has not happened. But I'm hoping that once school starts, I can get back on a steady schedule of doing these podcasts and dyeing more yarn and trying to figure out the business side of things. And I will say that Bethany from Mulberry Fibers is very inspiring. I just watched her podcast, and she was talking about that there is room in the yarn community, and we should encourage each other and lift each other up. And I take those words to heart. So thank you, Bethany, if you're watching out there. Thank you for the encouragement. My other favorite right now is Taylor from Wool Needles Hands, and it's fun watching her adventures as she's gotten her business started. So thank you, Taylor, for those vlogs your goal vlogs that you've posted, and just that you're so candid about your business and your failures and your successes, because really our failures make up our successes. So, yeah, I thank you for that, Taylor. I thank you, Bethany. If you guys are watching and out there, just thank you. You guys are very inspiring, and I really appreciate that as a fellow indie dyer. So, yeah, happy knitting this week, and enjoy your last few weeks of summer. If you guys have kids going back to school, get out, do stuff with those kids, and just enjoy them. Soak them up, soak up the sun, and just enjoy your time. See you guys next time. Bye-bye.